Walking the path of least resistance. How can you, within your life, make sure that you're not doing too much? I'm making this video to sort of nuance the video that I made yesterday regarding giving it your all. It seems like these two paths might be contradictory, of like giving it your all and traveling down the road less traveled, or also known as the Wu way, the watercourse way, how water always finds its lowest point. But what if they don't have to? What if these two paths can be reconciled? Also, you could say the path of your highest excitement, but at the same time also the road less traveled, the least force exerted. Just like nature, like how nature always finds in the most abundant way, giving it its all, but at the same time also going through the path of least resistance, like a flower blooming through the concrete. Finding its easiest way, most direct way to the light. And let's see if we can apply this same attitude or this same way of living in our own lives. So we don't have to try so hard. And also do not try at all, because there's a balance to it. You don't want to throw the towel in the ring and be like, okay, I'm not doing anything. You want to have that sweet spot where you're giving it your all, but at the same time you're also relaxed and surrendered to the natural flow, the natural stream of your being, of your life. And then it's just gently, merrily down that stream. And we don't have to strain ourselves. We can actually just relax, chill, and at the same time go hard. I really want to transmit to you today how you can be at ease in every situation. To truly feel in the depths of your being like you don't have to do anything. You don't have to prove anything. You can just be who you already are. And by being who you already are, by traveling that road less traveled, you'll have so much more energy available to you. And also when you rest, the rest you will have will be deep and powerful. And then you can actually recharge in that moment when you might have had a busy period in your life. You can recharge, you can relax, and then you can bounce back again and maybe have different rhythms and different flows in certain moments in your life. Some moments you're maybe more inward, like a hermit, more resting, doing internal work. And maybe other periods in your life you're going out in the world, creating projects, doing all kinds of amazing things. There's a natural rhythm to these things. But there's always a possibility for you to master the subtle art of staying true. This game of alignment where you tune in, okay, am I staying true right now? Am I coming from the truest, deepest, purest place within my being? And if so, great. Then you're walking the way of least resistance, and at the same time, you're walking the path of leaving no stone unturned, giving it your all. Those two unify into a beautiful harmony where you have both ends of the spectrum. You could say the masculine and the feminine, where the feminine is more, you could say, the surrender, you could say giving up in a sense, and the masculine is more the giving, the creating. But it's one spectrum. In the end, it is all one. Unified. So I'll leave it at that for this video. Please drop down in the comments below what your challenges or your successes are with traveling the way of least resistance. Where in your life have you noticed that actually by not trying, everything worked, everything happened magically? But maybe you also have another example in which you did try, and because of the trying, that brought you success. It is just about investigating what feels true for us in each moment. And then we can balance those polarities, find that sweet middle spot, and stay true to that essence. And then enjoy that process, refine that process until you're a clear, pristine example of both sides. Because only when you have both sides, you could say both extremes, you are balanced. If you just have one side of the coin, oh no, I can only surrender. You can be more biased in that direction, but you also need the other side, giving and creating. I think it was actually Socrates who shared this beautiful philosophy about the golden mean, and he shared that a true virtue is a balance in between the two opposites. So you have, for example, on one side, you have patience and impatience, and it's also, you could say, not virtuous or balanced to be too patient, because then you can allow people to walk over you or to not take action, for example, when you have to. But it's also, again, not good to be too impatient, to have a short fuse, to not be willing to wait. So in the middle, they meet. One other example of this can be like cowardice, being afraid, or being like, don't know the exact word, but being like too bold, being too brave to the point where it's actually stupidity. And in the middle, this is where you have courage. And you can apply this to anything in your life. This is how you truly harmonize within this creation. When you have both opposites, and then you find, you could say, the golden mean or the middle ground. And then you're balanced. So, on one side, we talked today about giving it your all, being action, giving, creating. And on the other side, the Wu way, the water course way, which is more about surrender and relaxation. And just try both of these out in your life and see where they can merge into a beautiful, harmonized, balanced stream. Hope this video helps. Again, drop down in the comments if you have any things that you're struggling with or you have questions about, or just an inspired share. Others can benefit from this as well. And I would love to see you in the next video. Take care, my friend. Gently, gently down that stream.